Hello, everyone. Welcome to Save News TV. I am your host, AZ Hubbard, and today we're reporting on the anti-ICE move mob slamming the church, going into the house of the God, and disrupting service with Don Lemon in tow, in, because the director of ICE in Minnesota is an ICE officer. Let me say this first and foremost. Number one, y'all gonna pull up on the right church and we're gonna show you something. Now, fortunately for them, the church was, you know, um, accommodating even though they asked them to leave. But baby, y'all better stop with your madness. Now, you can protest who you want to, but coming into the house of the Lord is crossing the line. I don't care how you feel. You don't get the right to disrupt my worship service. Now, I've seen, some of the comments on Don Lemon's um video, in support of this, but they're not children of God, I'm sure. Okay? But I'm telling you, I am upset. I do not think, why don't you go to a mosque? Huh? Why don't you go to a synagogue with this? Okay? I'm sure there are some Muslims and some Jewish people that belong to ICE. But no, you're going to pull up on a church and then you're going to um, disrupt it. Baby, all I'm going to say is if you all think this is a good idea, this pop up, I'm here to let you know that you all need to stop this in your tracks. We already know that these are paid protesters, okay? All right? But there are churches, and I'm here to tell you, because I know, because I was in one, that will put the smoke on you if you don't leave when they ask you to. Okay? Because that is private property and they asked you to leave. I don't think this is funny. Number one, ICE is just doing their job. And if you protest, get out there with ICE. No, you go into a vulnerable place where there are no consequences, or you think there's no consequences. But I'm going to encourage the churches right now to gin up, gin up, gin up, because these people don't not have no boundaries. Mm-mm. They getting paid, and they feel that their opinion is superior, and that they can encroach on everybody else's rights, even though the people that ICE is arresting ain't got no business being here in the first place and breaking the law. Okay, not most of these people, they have charges against them. I mean, horrific charges. But baby, I'm encouraging these pastors to get your team up, get your team up, get your team up, because a place like Minnesota, they allow that. They allow that. Get your team up. Okay, so let's look at this craziness, because they disagree. So they got the right to come in the house of God. I don't care if the pastor is head or ICE. I don't care about that. You don't have the right to disrupt anybody's worship service. I don't even care whether it's Muslim, synagogue, Buddhist, whatever. You don't have that right. And I know the police probably did not come because they're running from and allowing the protesters to do what they want to. But baby, you can ready to get some casualties if y'all keep on running up in places, okay? All right? I'm just telling you, as a former armor bearer, baby, 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 you roll up on us. If you would have rolled up on us, um, you would have been picking somebody up off the floor, okay? Because we ain't having that. And we're not going to start having that. We're not even going to allow this to even become a thing. And I need all the pastors all across the United States to speak out about this, irrespective of what you feel is the reason why they're protesting. Because next week they might be protesting something that you're against, or because your job is something that they don't like. They're gonna roll up on you. No, baby. No. So let's look at this clip. And y'all please forgive me, because you all know I try to not come up here emotional. I try to stay in the middle of the road. But this right here is too much. But I promise you, if you roll up on the right church, you are going to get something that you don't want, that you didn't bargain for. Okay? So let's look at this video coming from Don Lemon. Okay, so Don Lemon was having some issues with his camera, his Wi-Fi. So I'm going to play a little bit before, and then I'm going to play the part of them inside the church. I mean, there are old people in there. There are children in there. And they gonna roll up, baby. Look, like I said, roll up on the right church. Roll up. Pull up. But here's Don Lemon in tow. He gonna act like, he didn't know what was going on, where they were going. Yeah, Don Lemon knew. Yeah, he knew. I'm sure. That's my opinion. I believe he knew. No respect for the house of God. But like I said, pull up on the right one.
That's what we're doing here, and then we're after that.
Wait a second. Here we go with Don Lemon and his proclaimed innocence of not knowing what where they're going or what they're doing.
Some reconnaissance on the ground, speaking to an organization there that's gearing up for resistance and protest. I've been pleasantly surprised to see the community coming together. Diverse community. If you see this, when we first pulled up, we're like, wait.
No, that's not a diverse community of people. Those are paid protesters. They're getting their check later today, and Don Lemon knows it. Okay, Don Lemon knows it.
Minute, which operation are we at? And as it turns out, because we're like, well, this is kind of MAGA coded, right? So
I don't care, MAGA coded, leftist coded. It doesn't matter. I don't care whether it's left, right, center, or in between. You ain't got no business rolling up at no church. Look, and I encourage. Ooh, come on, let me get to this. Lord, help me.
American flag or whatever, but these are resistance protesters.
So it's MAGA. It's MAGA if we fly the American flag in the United States of America. You all have. This is crazy. It's gone too far. It's too much. It's too much.
They're planning an operation that we're going to follow them on. I can't tell you exactly what they're doing, but it's called Operation Pull Up, and it's Takima Armstrong, and she has been doing this since George Floyd, Dante Wright, and others, where they surprise people, catch them off guard, and hold them to account.
No, they did not pull up in any churches for George Floyd, not to my recollection. And no, this is the first time, and it needs to be the last time. I don't care what religion you are. When people are trying to worship, you don't need to be there. This is private property. And Don Lemon, I hold you accountable, because you standing out there, even though you talking about you can't tell us, you said that you did, you were just reporting. No, you knew what they were going to do while you standing out here reporting. You should have called the police. Okay. I don't watch you for this very reason, because of the lunacy in your mind. But like I said, pastors, get ready. Get ready, pastors, because they think this is going to be a thing. And we got to let them know and show them this is not going to be a thing.
So that's what we're doing here, and then after we do this operation, you'll see it live. And these operations are surprise operations. Again, can't tell you where they're going and where we're gathered right now. However, and then we're going to head over to Whipple, and we're just going to show you what's happening on the ground.
But I thought you didn't know, Don Lemon. You said you didn't know what was the plan, but you got a lot of plans identifying where you're going to go after you do this. Okay? You know what you're going to do. You are complicit. But baby, like I said.
Around not just all the chaos that you see at Whipple, but just how people are fighting back, how they're organized.
No, you're not. Who you fighting back? The congregation?
Organizing, how they're strategizing, and they're doing this in large part without support from officials, right? Local officials. There are some people who...
Of course, the local officials aren't going to support this because they know this right here is going. Now, okay, how do you know there's no support from local officials? Don Lemon, I thought you didn't know. I thought you didn't know what they were going to do. You're telling on yourself. You're lying, man. Your slip is showing. Okay? But you don't know what they plan to do. But you also know that the local officials didn't want no parts of it. And then now I blame the local officials for not stopping this madness and having police out there, because somebody could have really seriously got hurt. Roll up at the right church, okay? Roll up there.
Want to get involved, some local officials, but they're doing this on their own. This is all grassroots. So we're going to just take you throughout the day here. You're going to be with us live. It's just going to be raw. You're going to see what it is. So they are ready. Yeah. So I don't want to get, because they are strategizing, I don't want to get too much of their information in there. But again, you see people from all walks. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, they're not from all walks of life, Don Lemon. These are paid protesters. They are professional protesters that get their check from disrupting people's lives, okay? So let's call a thing a thing. They're funded by George Soros, NGOs, and other people that want to create chaos. All right? So since we're doing honest and balanced and fair reporting, let's report that.
Anyways, can I talk to you for a second, sir? How are you? Just without giving away what the operation is. Why are you out here?
I'm here to support our community activists. I'm currently a candidate for Minnesota State Senate. This is 60.
Baby, you can just kiss your campaign goodbye. Any Christian that vote for him has lost their mind. Okay? He's out here. He's running for Senate. And I'm going to tell you something. This ain't our fight, black folk. Okay? This is not our fight. But continue on, because you think this is a win-win, brother. But this is not a win.
I feel like it's important that if you're going to be representing people in office, that you are out here with the people as well.
Yeah. So. What do you think of I'm surprised to see the diversity out here, and what I just said to the folks is,
why are you surprised, Don Lemon? Money is green. People are going there for a check and for publicity. I don't appreciate it. Don't appreciate it at all.
That the people are organizing on their own, even without representatives or officials, and they're hoping that everybody gets involved. But this is grassroots.
Yes, sir. I mean, we got it. I mean, certainly, I'm actually married to an elected official. I work closely with elected officials. But direct action from community, certainly within the lines of the law, it's certainly important to show that.
No, it's not aligned with the law. That's private property. And when they ask you to leave, you should leave, because then you are trespassing. It's just like crossing the border illegally, okay? They ask you not to come into the country, but you decide because you want to, you're going to come anyway. You're going to overstay your visa. You're going to do what you want to do. This is the mentality of entitlement that America has become. But pull up on the right one, okay? Pull up on the right one.
We have one voice.
Yeah, let's see. I want to get some of this. Stand by. Yeah, stand by. We're not going to...
This is what community looks like. This is what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Ice out. Ice out. Ice out. Ice want y'all to say of Minnesota, because I want them to be very clear what we are.
Let's go around. Let's walk around.
Out of our city, right? Get the hell out of our state. Ice out! Minnesota!
Now look at these people. All of them. I bet you can find another video with them protesting. They're paid.
Ice out! Minnesota! 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 Ice out!
Okay, girl.
Minnesota! Ice out! Minnesota! Ice out!
Okay, girl. Let's see. Let's move forward a little bit, because I don't want to.
Getting the operation together again. This is an operation that is secret.
So why aren't any mainstream media there? Okay, because they got enough sense to know this is foolishness. But they call you Don Lemon, but you don't know what's going on. Boy, stop.
That they invited folks out. Can't tell you what is going to happen, but you're going to watch it live unfold here on the Don Lemon Show. There are
the Police Federation head's home.
Let me get this girl from the beginning.
Thank you guys for allowing me to be here.
Okay,
Thank you guys.
Okay.
How are you?
Good.
To see you. We're on. We're not saying what it is, what's going on, but thank you. Tell us why you're doing this.
So
This is Nakima Levy Armstrong. She's on the show
Nakima
on
Levy
Friday.
Armstrong, civil rights attorney, longtime activist here in the community. And, we protest and do activism in all kinds of ways. This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation.
Yeah, Lakeisha, or whatever your name is. Your Operation Pull Up, I want you to pull up to the right one. Pull on up. Pull on up with your crew. Pull on up, girl. Pull up.
We show up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there. And then we disrupt business as usual. So that's what we're about to go do right now. We've had a lot of success with the times we have done Operation Pull Up.
Yeah.
After George Floyd was killed, we went to the Police Federation head's home and staged a demonstration there. We also went to the head of the U.S. Marshals from Minnesota after Winston Smith was killed by the U.S. Marshals. We went there after Daunte Wright was killed when AG Keith Ellison refused to take the case.
Okay, so you've gone places and during George Floyd, but you didn't go to no church. But yet here you are. Yeah. Okay.
And we forced the prosecutor who lived in Stillwater to take the case by showing up there 4 times. So this is our next action.
So you getting a state official, a state employee, federal employee in the state to protest his church because he's the pastor. He has no power to pull ICE up out of there. You're doing it for show, girl. And I'm here to tell you, this is not going to go well for you, baby, because you have crossed a spiritual line, okay? And I need the saints to be prayed up, because if they pull up on the wrong church, it's not going to go well for them. So we need to be praying in the spirit for them to if you want to oppose ICE, get back out there in them streets. Or as a matter of fact, this is how, this is what baffles me. Those ICE officers are employees. They have no power to pull an operation out of a city. You need to go to your elected officials and demand change of the law, because they are following the law. But no, you don't want to do that. You want to create chaos, put people's lives in danger. Lord have mercy.
To call for justice for Renee Good and ICE out of Minnesota.
But you get results.
Yes, we get results.
And
You ain't getting no results on this one, baby. You get ready to allow God to come down and do the whoop butt on you, okay? Not to come down, because he's everywhere. He's omnipotent. And I'm gonna tell you, I am,
Daunte Wright, you got results.
We got results because the AG's office was forced to take the case, and they successfully prosecuted the cop who killed Daunte Wright. The U.S. Marshal got...
If you think for 1 minute that ICE is going to come up out of Minnesota, where there has been $9 billion worth of fraud and counting, and illegals running rampant and flooding the state, and being agents of chaos as far as criminal history and crimes, you are mistaken, girl. You are mistaken. And you need to stay out of the houses of God. Like I said, I don't care whether it's Christian, Muslim, Jewish, or whatever, synagogue or whatever. You need to stay away from people trying to worship their God, okay? Even though I know that, I one true God, but you ain't got no business there.
Got uprooted from her position from Minnesota. And then this was the start of weakening the leadership of the head of the Police Federation, Bob Kroll, who later we filed a lawsuit against, and we settled. He cannot be a law enforcement agency in Hennepin County, Anoka, or Ramsey for 10 years.
Do you understand the difference between state and federal? Federal has jurisdiction, but...
So we've had success every single time.
How long do you think before this operation takes place?
We got to go now and get there.
Let's go.
All right, thank you.
We'll see you there. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go to the operation again. We're not going to give any of the information away. But
because like he said, we're going to go there now, so he already knows where they're going. So let's see. We're going to move forward in this so you can see the absolute chaos. Look at this.
oh no.
See, God was trying to warn them. Don't be coming up in here. Don Lemon's Wi-Fi went crazy and went out. He couldn't even really film it because it's holy ground. Listen. You can believe what you want to believe, but there's certain places you just don't take your mess in. Now that's Don Lemon's cameras that's messing up. But look at the people. They're like totally shocked. Okay? They want ICE out, but they don't want to get out when they were asked to get out. Like I said, roll up on the right one. Pull up. Look, children have no regard. Children put everybody's life in danger. Children, old people, they don't care. Because what's most important to them is what they feel. My entitlement. People praying, trying to I'm so glad that Don Lemon's cameras, the Wi-Fi went berserk, because God said you ain't got no business up in this piece. And I'm telling you, every last one of y'all up in here that took a paycheck to do this, and every one of you up in here disrupting God's house because of this, you're not, this is not, you have no authority here. Now, it's different if a pastor go to another pastor's to rebuke. I mean, there's a difference. You are a carnal organization that is bringing your political views in the house of God. But I'm here to tell you, okay? Every action has a reaction. And just know this, that God is going to individually deal with each one of you all that walk through that door to create chaos in his house.
So the protesters are confronting church members and leaders. They have stopped the service. A lot of people, a number of people have left. There are some who are still sitting here.
Are you okay with the injustice that's happening within your city? We pray for justice. Are you okay? No, so you're not okay?
I'm just here. I'm just here photographing.
Are you okay?
No, darling. You're not gonna get away off that easy. You're not just there photographing. Because if this was a legit thing that you didn't know, then they would have called. There would have been other news organizations, but you're the only one there. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Don Lemon. We got you. We got you, baby. We got you. Remember this. We're gonna remember this.
I'm not part of the group. I'm just here.
Oh, but you are, Don Lemon. Oh, you a part of it.
Photographing. I'm a journalist.
This ain't God's house. It's the house of the devil.
See, and then they say, this ain't God's house. This is the house of the devil. And then they shouting and everything, baby. Like I said, God gonna deal with each and every one of you. Okay? Clock that, okay? Starting immediately. Watch how your life change.
Excuse me, sir. Can I get right here? Thank you. I'm sorry. So you can see the protesters here have gathered over here. They're in the middle of the church. In the beginning of the church service, the pastor was speaking, and Nakima stood up and said her piece, and then the protesters surrounded her. But this is a clandestine mission. I think they found out according to them, this is according to Operation Pull Up, that one of the pastors here is a member of ICE, and so.
But Don Lemon, you talk about you're a journalist. You should have verified that information before you even been a part of that. Okay? You don't, I could say anything. They could say anything. But you didn't do your journalistic duty to verify that. And even, like I said, even if he's a private citizen doing his job just like you doing your job. But yet here you are. Here we go.
You took out the lead pastor.
Yeah. Okay. And so the pastor is over there. And so they're screaming Renee Good.
Look at that, children, old people. Get out of the house of God. Just won't leave. Continuous chaos. Just continuous chaos. Now let's see that I'm gonna move forward because they're just continuing with this.
Here's the reality. Your college degree took 4 years and $100K. AI skills take 28 days and $20.
People think that in order to have protests, you got to be, cordoned off to a certain area.
Yeah, you do. You cannot go on private property. You cannot go into the house of God. You cannot go in people's businesses and protest and not be trespassing. You are breaking the law, and you in there with them, Don Lemon.
And, what time you can protest. There's nothing in the Constitution that tells you what time you can protest. You can protest at any time. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, you can protest at any time in certain places, in public places, okay? You cannot protest on private property, okay? Because other people have rights. Your rights doesn't supersede anybody else's rights, okay? I'm telling you, I'm just...
It is to disrupt. It's to make uncomfortable. And that's what they're doing. And that's what I believe when I say everyone has to be willing to sacrifice something.
No, we don't have to be willing to sacrifice nothing because you want to disrupt somebody. Other people have different beliefs. What about the other people's beliefs? And even those that believe and want ICE out don't get down with this right here. You don't have the right to go and disrupt somebody else's life because you don't agree with their life.
You have to make people uncomfortable in these times.
No, you don't have to make people uncomfortable, Don Lemon. No, you do not.
You see how uncomfortably and how harsh people are being treated on the streets. You have to be willing.
Well, then they need to stop break. They need to go home. There's $1,000. Yeah, I just can't. I cannot.
To go into places and disrupt and make people uncomfortable. That is what this country is about.
No, this country is not about this right here, Don Lemon. No. This is a bad precedent that you all are setting. And it's not going to go well for you. I'm telling you right now, this is not going to go well for you.
Nakima is over in the middle.
Yeah, Don Lemon. You knew exactly what was going on. You knew. Okay, so this is Don Lemon's stuff that's not the internet was the internet was acting crazy on him, and very well, because see, God was not pleased with this. But God gonna deal with you, boo. He got your number. He got you. He got you. He got you.
Do you mind if we talk to you?
No.
What do you think of this?
I thought you said no. What I'll tell you is that there are varying arrays of views on the political situation here. That's what I'll tell you.
What do you mean by that?
I'm going to leave it at that. But there's varying array of views in this church on politics of immigration. Right. To recognize the complexity of the issue.
Yeah. Some people don't like what's happening. Some people like it.
I'm not going to reduce it to that. I won't reduce it that simply, but we acknowledge the complexity of the situation.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you talking to me. So I'm just going to be as respectful as possible. I'm not here.
Nah, you're not being respectful as possible, Don Lemon. When you pulled up there, if you didn't know before, which we know you did, when you pulled up there and saw it was a church, if you were respectful, you would have never entered. Never. But no, you did anyway, because you want them views. You want them clicks. You want that money. But baby, fast money, quick money, fast money it goes quickly. All right? Okay?
To intimidate anybody.
Yeah, you came to intimidate people. That's the purpose of a pull-up in a church with people screaming, yelling, and that's called intimidation. And I hope that every person that was a part of this is prosecuted. I hope so. I hope there's something that can be done, because you can say constitutional rights all you want, but it is not, because your constitutional right ends where mine begins. You cannot infringe on another person's constitutional rights since you want to quote the Constitution, Don Lemon.
Just here to chronicle and to get some answers and let people know what they've done. They've pumped the music up really, really loud. Here.
Yeah, that's what they should do. Pump the music loud, start praising God, get into praise and worship. And like I said, if you pulled up at the right church, you wouldn't have been here that long. Okay? I'm just saying. All right?
You heard the pastor. Some folks are praying back there. Do you see the guy with his arms stretched up? And they're praying.
Yeah, praying you demons right up out of the house of God. Get out. Get out. Pray the demons out of the house of God.
But by the way, just so you know, this is what you get with independent journalism that you will not get.
Because we independent journalists, excuse me. First of all, we operate by the same standards. You know, you don't see anybody else up in there. They're not going to go up in there knowing, you know, the complexity that this is going to cause. Also, as a journalist, you had the obligation to verify that she said that ICE officer was a pastor before you rolled up in there. Did you do your due diligence? You're just going to go as an independent journalist following people that you don't know where they're going, what they're doing, and you're going to film. Oh, you knew. You knew, Don Lemon. You knew.
With corporate media, I'm just here to tell you. So if you're in the chat, if you're with us, support us. Support us. Support us.
No, we're not supporting you. The only people supporting you are people that feel like this is okay. I wouldn't support you. The only reason I am supporting you with a view is to let my viewers know that this is not okay. Okay? So they don't have to go over there and watch your mess. So, because this is a 6-hour, almost 7-hour video, and your Wi-Fi is mixed up. Okay? I'm here to let our viewers know that I don't care whether it was a church, a mosque, or a synagogue, or any house of God that they consider their God, for you to come up and protest in. Okay? But we know that you're not going to go up in a synagogue. We know that y'all aren't going to go up in a mosque. We already know that because you feel like the church is safe. But like I said, baby, some churches ain't that safe for you to roll up into like this. You're just going to come in and disrupt God's house, the Most High house. But the Most High got something for you.
Like and subscribe, become a member, support independent journalism.
No, don't support them. Don't support them. Don't support them. Don't support them.
Because we do it without fear or favor. I'm not afraid to do this. Like I told you, it was going to be raw.
Yeah, you're not afraid to do it. But you said you didn't know. You said you didn't know. Nobody's going to, no Christian is going to come after you personally and do anything to you. We're going to let God handle you, boo. Now, I want to mark this day. I want to mark this video. And I want you all to begin to see what happened to Don Lemon and his crew and his bandits after today, and what God will allow in their life. Mark this day. Mark this video.
Unscripted. We got stuck in the snow trying to get here, had to produce it in real time. Go here. As soon as we walked in, almost perfect timing, the protesters stood up. And so what?
No, they didn't stand up. They walked in the middle of the service. The service was already going on. People were already in there. They walked in. We just saw it while people were worshiping God and created chaos. They weren't sitting down peacefully, waiting for service to begin. No. That's not how it's happened. Even your own video contradicts that.
What is interesting is that the protesters don't really like talking to corporate media that much. They like talking to independent media. And they tell us what they're going to do, and we just follow.
See? He just said it. They tell us what we're going to do, and we just follow it. Okay, Don Lemon, follow your way all the way to hell.
Much as I did in the Capitol when Marjorie Taylor Greene got mad at me because I was there.
And do you see the man smoking coming into the house of God, blowing his smoke as he coming in? Mm-hmm. No respect. Absolutely no respect.
Doing journalism and reporting on what the protesters that went to her office did, and she got mad at me and called me all kinds of names.
Okay,
they don't like it when you confront them.
Let's move forward here because he's going to interview somebody else.
On the Twin Cities right now, but I don't think it's good to fight fire with fire. I think it's good to speak up, and I think it's good to protest, but I think it's better to do it in a peaceful way. I don't think the answer is going into God's church.
You don't think this is peaceful?
Amen. Amen, brothers. Speak that truth. Speak that truth to power. To do that, this, only thing you're doing is turning people against you. Okay. Don't be coming up in my house. What they're going to do next? Be coming to your house? Well, they do that anyway. But I'm saying, are they going to come in your house? Because they feel like, they got that right. That sense of entitlement.
Peaceful?
Well, it's trespassing.
Nobody fighting.
It's trespassing.
Yeah, it's trespassing. And they don't care about no laws. They don't care about no laws. They just want to make sure that they get heard, they get what they want, and they're gonna disrupt your life until you do what they want you to do. But see, it's time for us Christians to stand up and stop giving into this foolishness. And America in general. You don't get your way by screaming and yelling. Like I said, go to your state representative, your federal representative, to get the laws changed. Stay out of the house of God.
How do you feel if I went to your house and I started yelling?
It depends on what I did, but not in my house. That's a whole different thing.
But you're in their house. It's not a different thing, Don Lemon. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like these people live in an alternative reality. They just, it's insanity.
These people would go inside of anybody's house.
This is a house of God.
Which makes it everybody's house.
No, it doesn't make it everybody's house. It is everybody's house, but not to do this. No. No, you're trespassing.
Yes, it is. But in a house, people don't yell at each other.
Yeah, but there's a lot of yelling in my house growing up. We still loved each other.
No, that's family. See, Don Lemon is trying to see this, like I said, a totally alternative reality. A totally alternative reality. Delusional. Absolutely delusional.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that yelling is the answer, right?
I'm sorry?
That doesn't necessarily mean yelling is the answer, right?
No, but I think that's the way you work things out is that you talk to each other, you disagree. Sometimes it's heated.
They're not talking to them. They're yelling at them, screaming at them, disrupting their worship. You can't justify this. But Don Lemon is going to try to. Him and his cohorts. His posse, his crew.
Sometimes it's not, but at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and I think maybe if the pastor would try to calm things down and say, let's all talk together and make this peaceful and not be so us against them.
Why is this the pastor's responsibility to say, let's talk? He didn't invite them in there. They came in there, they busted in there. That's not the pastor's responsibility to let's talk. No. I don't blame the pastors. Don't give in to them. Blast the praise and worship music. Matter of fact, you should have been calling the police to get them on out of there. It's the entitlement for me. It's the entitlement.
I think that's good to talk, but then why don't we do that, right?
Yeah.
I don't think trespassing, I think protesting on the streets is fine, but I think there's a difference between that and then going into someone's property and then yelling.
How do you feel about allegedly, according to the protesters here, there's a member of ICE who is a pastor here or is a member of the clergy?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question?
A member of the clergy or a pastor here works with ICE, and that's why they're upset.
I didn't know that.
Allegedly, I don't know. That's what they say.
Okay. Well, I would say before just ramming into a church, maybe it'd be good to get some more information first.
Yeah.
But you said talking is the answer, right?
Yeah.
Well, then maybe instead of making assumptions, it'd be good to ask the person first before making that assumption, then going into their church.
I don't know if they tried to talk to anyone. Would you be okay?
Nah, they ain't trying to talk to nobody. They ain't trying to talk to nobody. They said they're doing pop-ups. See, okay, y'all. You know, I got to stop and start and do commentary on this for copyright reasons. But I'm also doing this because I'm done with these people, these protesters. Because number one, they're paid. Number two, if they really wanted change, they would go to their federal and state representatives to demand change in the law. These people are doing their jobs just like if you're a clerk at Walmart and Walmart's decided to say, we're not going to take refunds and exchanges, and we're not going to refund for cash. And so what you're going to do, you're going to go up into Walmart and protest, or you're going to go to and if that clerk is a pastor at a church, are you going to go up in their church because Walmart doesn't take refunds and protest? Because the clerk is doing her job according to the law, okay, according to the company's policy. See, this makes no sense. It makes no sense.
With your pastor talking to them?
I think conversations will be great. I think we need more communication.
So what is the pastor supposed to do? He ain't nothing. What he gonna go? What is he supposed to do?
I don't necessarily agree with what's going on with the ICE raids and stuff, but I also don't think fire with fire is the answer.
I appreciate you giving me your opinion. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, yeah, there you go. And so folks are leaving. The pastor's here. He's leaving. I'm surprised that law enforcement has not showed up yet.
Because they had mercy on you. That's why law enforcement didn't show up. Or because we know that Minnesota allows this kind of mess. Any other place, law enforcement would be there because somebody could get hurt up in there. Especially, like I said, if you roll up in the wrong place and refuse to leave. This is not the way. It is not the way. But God gonna show you this was not the way. He's gonna show you.
So we'll see. Let's go out front and see what's happening. Let's go out front. So I'm gonna take you outside of the church and just show you a little bit, but yeah, that was interesting to watch. This guy here, look, he's hugging his kid.
See, families, children, traumatizing them because of what you want. Do you think that this is going to go well with them? No regard to anybody. Just pure, total, unadulterated selfishness.
And, you know, I imagine it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here. But
you didn't care because you're there. You didn't care whether it's traumatic for them. You didn't care if it's traumatic for the kids and the older people, the women. You didn't care. Because you wanted to get your clicks and views, and they wanted to get a viral moment.
And careful, it's very slippery right here. Yeah. It's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here, but that's what really, careful, please, really slippery. Not kidding. That's what protesting is about, and so.
No, protesting is not about this, Don Lemon. It is not. It is not.
There's you see the police are here. They haven't come in yet, but that police are here, and this is where.
And we know they're not going to come in because they're cowards in Minnesota. The police allow these people to do whatever they want to do to whomever they want to do. And I'm going to tell you straight up, if I was in Minnesota and if I was a member of that church, I would sue the socks off everyone that came up in there disturbing my peace.
Folks are leaving. Just want to show you, and that's the inside of the church there where they are. And so the pastor, I don't know if you can see in there, the pastor's hugging members of the church as they are about to leave.
See how God did? He just messing up Don's Lemon internet. Yeah. Don't mess with it, God. Do your thing.
And so, an interesting Sunday morning for you. What do you think of this?
I'm a harmless Christian here that wants to praise the Lord with my son, and now I got to go home. I'm sorry that you guys are so angry.
I'm just chronicling. I'm not with the group.
Oh, what do I have to say?
Can you understand why they're angry?
I don't understand any of this because I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man who loves the Lord and is a good father. So this is what we look forward to, is coming, being with our family and praising Jesus, and that's not something that we have to run away from. So this is kind of a bad day for us. But, we're going to heaven, so that's the best news we got.
Do you understand that some of these folks feel voiceless?
I don't understand, because right now I'm so upset right now. I don't really have I'm thirsty, and I can't think very clearly. So what I want to do is just say, we love you. Yeah. My son and I love you guys.
Yeah.
And
I'm a journalist. They're activists.
The simplest thing we can say is that we love you guys.
What do you mean, you guys?
Well, whoever's here in this house.
Okay.
We don't distinguish between Christian and non-Christian. We love everyone, and we want everyone to come to heaven.
Yeah.
We want people to go to heaven.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. We want folks to go to heaven, and
I just love what this guy's saying. He and his son just came to worship God. That's all. That's it. That's all. They came to have a peaceful day with his family. And they have ruined this for them, because, they wanted what they wanted.
we need to talk about these things, then, this isn't the time for that, really.
But don't you think until we go to heaven, if you believe in that there should be some sort of peace here on earth, and that people...
No, there's no peace until Jesus returns, Yeshua returns. So don't even try to justify that, Don Lemon, with all your justifications.
Should have agency, and we shouldn't be beating people up off the street, and we should be abiding by the Constitution?
I think that's just a little bit loaded for me right now, what you're doing.
Why so?
Well, I don't want to interview right now. I don't want to interview. I just want to tell you guys I love you. I don't need to interview right now because I want to be with my son. It's Sunday. It's time for rest and for renewal.
Where are they? Like in this car, he's like right on the corner.
Where? And I would like to answer your question. I just can't right now.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. The protesters are still inside of the church. Police have showed up, but they haven't come inside yet. A couple of the members are speaking to me. They're upset. And you can imagine, of course they would be upset. So the crowd has significantly dwindled. And the reason, can I talk to you, sir? What do you think of this?
I agree with everybody's freedom to protest. These people have come into our house and they've interrupted our worship. This is a house of peace, and we try to proclaim that. And this stirs division and rancor. And in the end, it's not helpful. Ultimately, I believe they've lost. They've emptied a house of worship. Everybody's gone home. Their point has been proven worthless. And so, in the end, I think they lose. But more importantly, if I was to break into any of their houses uninvited, cause derision and upset according to their values, I would be kicked out ultimately. It's not a good way. I feel violated. I feel interrupted. I feel angry.
May I ask you something? When you were saying if you had showed up at their house, they're saying that people are showing up at houses where they're citizens without due process and breaking and entering the house. One that we saw, I've been watching.
They're not breaking and entering. They got warrants, and if they don't have warrants, they, at the houses, these people, they delusional. They live in an alternative reality, and I love what this gentleman is saying.
From New York with a battering ram into someone's private property, and there's no recourse. There's no, you understand what I'm saying?
This is all part of a much larger dialogue, in my opinion. On one side, are people who watched a previous administration bring 12 million people in over the course of 4 years. And many of them undocumented, many of them criminals, etc. This is another administration's corrective. Now, whether you agree with the policies or procedures, I think I could actually be sympathetic to some of the things where there have been challenges to action and decency. At the same time, these are what are called targeted interventions by ICE to keep the American people safe.
If I respectfully may interject here, I've been out reporting on a lot of these, and they're not targeted. There are no warrants signed by.
Oh, stop lying, Don Lemon. Stop lying. You just want to spread your propaganda. This man is 100% correct.
By a judge, let me finish. And they're American citizens, many of them. Most of the people.
No, they're not, Don Lemon. Stop the lies. Stop the lies.
That they detain don't have criminal convictions or criminal records.
I'm not going to get into the weeds. This is.
But you should know that, though. Don't you think that's part of it?
Yes, and I could also show you many opposing sides where we're also picking up the very criminals that have put Americans in danger. And I'm not saying it's pretty. I'm not saying it's not messy. I'm not saying it couldn't be better. I'm saying this is a part of a much larger dialogue in which one administration caused a great deal of chaos and havoc and danger for American citizens, and another is trying to correct that.
Do you believe that? Why? Honestly,
okay.
Let me talk to you just on the facts.
You're not a journalist.
Yes, I am. I want to give you the facts.
No.
Did you know that undocumented people
See how I do that? The man's trying to get away. They always think that they got a right to infringe on you. The man said, no, I'm done with it. And he continued to follow.
Immigrants commit far less crime than American citizens?
We're done here. We're done here.
Than natural-born Americans? You won't listen.
If you could ask,
I'm giving you the facts. It is.
Give me facts.
Hey, look at him. Look at him. He's an activist. He's not a journalist. He's an activist.
I would have a conversation.
But I can respond to you.
No,
did Jesus stand with the oppressed?
Because he doesn't want to listen to facts. That's the interesting thing about this is that.
No, you living in an alternative reality. Those are not facts. And even if there were facts, you ain't got no right being in the house of God with this mess.
They won't listen to facts.
No.
You won't because
when you pose as a journalist,
I am a journalist. Journalist gives facts.
And then you start correcting me with facts and don't have.
You shouldn't hear the facts.
Of course, I
most
should
of the
hear
people
facts.
who are picked up
but will
are
you
not.
Give me the facts on both sides.
That is the facts on both sides.
No, it's not. See, look at him. Look at him.
Most of the people who are picked up and are detained are not convicted. They have no criminal convictions. They have no criminal records. None. That immigrants commit far less crime than native-born Americans. So they won't listen to the facts. Anyways, these folks are still out here. There you go. All right. Let's go talk to Nakima. Can you grab the mic for me, please? It's in the car.
Crazy. Let's fast forward and hear what she has to say, because I'm about done with this right here. I am.
You will see him listed as a pastor. And the moment I mention...
No, he will not be listening as a pastor. He can listen all he wants. So he's an employee, according to you, of ICE. There's no way. Absolutely none.
His name, I tried to say I am a reverend. You asked for you
a reverend? Where'd you get your license, baby? Online? That means nothing. Anybody can be a reverend. I can go online right now, pay a fee and become a reverend. Stop the cap. Lord,
to put your house in order. The moment I mentioned
this house is in order. No, it was in order until you and your posse arrived.
David Easterwood, he tried to shut me down. So you can go to their website and see Dave Easterwood listed. David Easterwood. And
you know what? I encourage all Christians to go to the website and send Dave Easterwood, Pastor Dave Easterwood, a letter of encouragement, thanking him for standing for Christ and being peaceful, because, really this could have went another way, and just send words of encouragement and outnumber these few people that want to disrupt people's worship. Okay.
All over the court decision that just came out in with Judge Melendez, where the ACLU filed suit on behalf of 6 Minnesota residents because of the abuse by ICE and them violating people's constitutional laws. He also appears on C-SPAN with Christy Nome. That is the same guy listed as a pastor here at City's Church.
So what happens next, Nikema? What do you think this does?
It depends on this church. I know that this church will never be the same after today. And I think
no, it won't be the same. I hope they grow closer. I hope that they get ready and prepare for the next, if pull up, so they can govern themselves accordingly. Okay.
That the people who worship here will have to decide which side are they on.
No, they're on the side of God. They're on the side of God. That's why they're in church. Okay. They're not there for political gain. And I tell you what, you have turned off more people than what you've gained. This was a big L for you. Okay. A big L.
Side of the Lord, truth, righteousness, or justice.
Girl, you don't get to do this. You do not get to quote the word of God with this foolishness. No, girl, no.
Or the side that pretends to be on the Lord while harboring someone who is helping to perpetuate evil on our community. The guy who oversees ICE agents. How dare you claim to be a minister of Jesus?
I dare you to proclaim to be a minister of Jesus, going up and interrupting his house and interrupting the worship. I dare you, girl. Girl, stop.
I am a reverend.
I don't care. You're a reverend that probably got your degree. Like I said, your license online. Where are you pastoring at? Okay. Because like I said, if they feel comfortable doing this today on this, they'll do it on any issue. This will be just the beginning if we don't stop this craziness right now.
I'm a lawyer, I am an activist, and I stand on the side of freedom, justice, truth, and righteousness. Period.
Yeah, but you don't stand on the side of God. Girl, stop.
Some of that mic too as well. Did you try to talk to the leadership of the church?
You saw me try directly to talk to the leadership.
He got to talk to you. He ain't got to talk to you. What make you think? See, this is the entitlement. Nobody has to talk to you. You don't bust up in my house and demand a conversation because you're not there for a conversation. And what exactly he's supposed to do? Girl, you need to go on. You and all these people, every one of them need to be prosecuted. And if I was a member of that church, I would demand that trespassing charges be put against them, and then I would sue them civilly for infringing upon my rights and causing trauma. I would demand to be paid. Okay, this is how you deal with these people. Start hitting them in their pocketbook where it hurts and start throwing them underneath the jail, and they'll stop this craziness.
When I disrupted the church service and he tried to shut us down after we mentioned David Easterwood.
Yeah, I asked him, why don't you try to talk to the folks? And he said that, this was a disruption and,
Yeah, because they didn't read the Bible where Jesus came into his father's house and flipped over tables.
Okay, stop it. Okay, let's get to the word. Jesus disrupted and turned over tables because of the fact that they were selling in the house of God. They were disrupted. These people were worshiping in the house of God. Don't try to use and twist God's words for your gain. This is, don't do that. Don't do that. And I don't care whether, I get on the other pastors, Jamal Bryant and all of them that use and twist the word to stand for his, like with gown gate. And I'm gonna hold you to the same standard since you say you're a reverend. You cannot take God's word and twist it for and give it a new meaning to support your view.
Because they were pretending to worship the Lord.
And who are you to say they pretending to worship the Lord? Girl, you need to stop.
They were pretending to follow the word, but their actions were not in alignment. So we came and flipped.
Their actions were in alignment. Your actions are not in alignment. So you come in there to correct them with screaming, yelling, creating traumatic event for innocent people, children, old people, women. Girl, bye.
Over a table today. This injustice, this unrighteousness will not stand. You cannot be a pastor while also being the director of the field office for ICE in St. Paul.
Okay, he has a church and he has a job. That's his job. Like I said, as I use as a Walmart, example. So he's supposed to quit his job because you disagree with it. Girl, I'm here to tell you, I would have a lawyer on you so fast, it would make your head spin. Okay? We're going to find something to sue you about. Okay?
Do you?
Absolutely not.
You're going to continue to do this?
We will continue to do whatever is necessary to bring justice to our community and justice for Renee Good.
I tell you what. Don't let me say it again. Don't let me say it again.
Thank you. Now what? You can't tell me, right? Do you want me to hold your mic or you're good? You're good? Okay.
And you can talk to any other people, out here
talk to these guys.
as to why they're here standing for justice.
Let's talk to these guys. Thank you, Nikema. I hate to interrupt the loudest guy here. How are you? Nice.
Okay, so I'm done with that. They pretty much finished with their protests. But like I said, baby, you got the right one that day, because you go up into some of these houses of God trying that mess. It's going to be a whole different day. You go in some cities and try that mess, police going to arrest all of you, throw you in jail. It's amazing to me that people feel so comfortable doing this in the house of God. And like I said, whether it was a synagogue, a mosque, you don't do this. You don't. People are trying to worship God, their God, and whether it's Muslims trying to worship their God, or Jewish people trying to, worship, or anybody, any religion. I want you to roll up into theirs. Okay? Well, I want you to be an equal opportunity. But like I said, there need to be some repercussions. There need to be some repercussions for what they did. And I believe that. I believe that there should be some consequences for them deciding that they're going to roll up like that. But anyway, everybody, this has just really upset me, as you probably can tell. And, like I said, I don't care what side you stand on, whether you pro-ICE or anti-ICE. This was totally unacceptable, and it was ungodly. But as we know, the Lord said, vengeance is his. And everyone that rolled up in there today, vengeance belongs to God. With that, I say you all have a very blessed and prosperous day. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
I'm writing lines to lift his name, no need for fame. My spirit fed, his word is spread, saves the aim. Pen to paper, truths I scribe, a soulful vibe. To glorify the Most High, let's amplify. I am spreading the faith I hold so dear, for every tear he's ever near. Choirs rise on Sunday morn, his love we adore. Each melody, a testimony, hearts reborn. In every I'm writing lines to lift his name, no need for fame. My spirit fed, his word is spread, saves the aim. Pen to paper, truths I scribe, a soulful vibe. To glorify the Most High, let's amplify. I am spreading the faith I hold so dear, for every tear he's ever near. Choirs rise on Sunday morn, his love we adore. Each melody, a testimony, hearts reborn. In every verse a whispered prayer beyond compare, to lift the hearts of those in dark despair. We testify with every note we sing, in harmony